All right, so let's continue on with our main data workbook. Oh, where did it go? Here we are again. So let's continue on. Say we have all these countries here and a few Australian cities. Say we want to add some American cities as well. So we can add data just by clicking on a cell like so, and then you just start typing. And you hit enter to move down a cell, or you could hit tab to move one cell to the right. Let's add New York as well. Again, you highlight the cell and start typing. Well, now we've added those, but we still need the data in there. Let's assume that both LA and New York will have the same public holidays as USA here does. So let's select all of USA, the data for all of USA rather. Again, to select, you click and drag down. You drag down all the way to the bottom, and here we are. So we just saw one way to copy and paste, but let's see another one. There's a copy button here. So you hit copy there, you go into LA, the top cell is fine, and you can hit paste. And it will fill in all the data over there. You can also cut and paste here for New York. So it'll remove the data from LA and paste it into New York. But we want it also to be in LA. So let's copy it over back there again. And paste. Okay, so let's say we screwed up a little bit. We didn't want to do all the things we did. We didn't want to actually cut and paste. There's redo and undo buttons up here in Excel. This is undo, and over here is redo. So we hit this one, it'll get rid of the data in New York. Let's see if that happens. Oh, sorry, it got rid of the data in LA. Well, but you see New York again is highlighted as in it's been copied over again. So we can just paste it over again. And we're good. And we can redo the button as well. So if we undo this one and the data is gone, we would also hit redo and it would appear back there again. You hit escape to get rid of the copy signs over there. There's another cool thing you can do, which is a bit difficult to show with 0 and 1 data. So for the sake of this, let me just put in a different type of data here in this empty column. So I'll put a 1 here and a 2 here. Say I wanted to go all the way down. My agenda is to count how many different rows are there. One way to do it obviously would be to just go down by this number. But maybe you don't want to do that because you don't want to you don't want 1 to be this top row of headings. You want 1 to start over here. So one thing we could do is we write 1 and 2 here, we select them both, and we bring it to the bottom right corner, our mouse. And you see this, the mouse is right now a big square, a big plus sign, but it'll become a smaller black plus sign. You take that, you click on it, and you drag down. And what it will do is it'll complete the series for you. So we get down all the way here, and we let go, and we have 76, 75, 74, so on and so forth. So now we know there are 76 data points. Let's just label this cell as count. Or sorry, row number rather. Well, you know what? The row number shouldn't be at that corner. We want it really to be the very first column. So what we can do is we can copy the entire row and insert it over there. So the way to do that is you click on the top name of the column, which is PE. They're named as A, B, C, D all the way up until really far out. Let's just see how far out quickly. Oh. You can actually keep going. I actually won't do that. It goes out pretty far. So let's go back to our data here. And we want to select this one by pressing the S, which is the name of the row, right click on it, and we can say cut. Because we don't want it to be there, we want it to be removed from there and paste it over here. So we go onto A and right click. And it says insert cut cells. and we put it over here. So now the row number is the very first row, and it's gone from over here. Again, we could have also copied that row over, and what that would have done is not remove it from that side and just copied it. So we would have had 2 copies. Again, the procedure to do that is almost the same. Instead of cut though, you hit copy, you go to T, right click, and paste. And here we are. Let's undo that because we don't want it to be there. So we hit this button over here to undo. Well, what if we want another city, which is between LA and New York, and geographically, so we want to put it between LA and New York. One way to do it would be to copy all of New York over and paste it from S to T. But another way to do that is just right-click on S and say Insert, and it will insert a row. We can add over here, we can add Chicago, and this gives me an opportunity to show another cool thing, which is if you select, say, LA all the way down, like so, you can again use the fill handle right from over here by clicking on this bottom right corner with the black cross and dragging it over. See, what has happened this time is that it hasn't increased or incremented the series. It has just copied the cells over exactly. See, 1, 1 over here, and you can see that it's been copied right over and it hasn't changed at all. So that's 2 different things it can do by using that function. If you have 1 and 2, like so, and you do that, you get a series. But if you say have only 1 there, and you copy it down, you will get a whole series of just ones. Let's just delete this one over again. That's gone. Well, we have New Zealand here and Melbourne here, but you can't quite see what the name is. So let's just expand this cell out. To do that, you go into the edge between J and K, and you see this new cursor that's shown up there. You haven't seen that one before, but if you click on it and again drag it to the right or the left, it will change the column width. So let's just make it a bit bigger. And day name also we can make it a bit bigger. But the Wednesdays and Thursdays are still cut off, so we can make it bigger still. Another quick way to do that is, and over here the Melbourne is still cut off, so I'll show you another quick way of doing that. If you go over here in this corner button between 1 and A and hit it like so, it will select every cell in the entire sheet. Now you go in the middle here between any 2 columns and double click, and it will change the width so that it only takes up the space it needs. So you see Melbourne has been expanded, but LA has been shortened. Maybe we don't want that to happen. Maybe we want them to be all the same size. So again, you select them all and expand it out a bit. And now they're all the same size. And let's just bring it in a little bit because they're too wide. Oh, date has become too small, so maybe a little bit more. All right, so there we are. New Zealand, as you can see, is still cut off a little bit. So I want you to notice one thing here. Look at the Germany, which is on the left side of that column, and the 0 and 1 and all the other data is on the right side. And that's because Excel treats the numbers differently from the text. But say we wanted to treat them the same way. One quick way to change the 0 from a number to a text is to go over here and scroll down maybe a little, and you see text over down here at the bottom. You hit that and you see 0 has moved from the right side to the left side to indicate that it's now being treated as a text and not as a number. This will become more important, and why this is more important will become clear in future lectures when we deal with the formulas and the mathematical and arithmetic you can do with Excel. We won't worry about that too much right now. But let's say we want to get rid of the column Melbourne. We don't want to actually get rid of it, we just don't want to have to see it. One quick way to do that would be you go up here on F, right click, and you can say hide. Now it's hidden between Sydney and Perth. As you can see, the letters are going from A, B, C, D, E to straight to G, skipping F, because F has been hidden. To unhide, you select E and G, right click, and say unhide, and you get them all back. One last thing I want to show you before we close for this video is how to search in Excel. For the purposes of this video, I've put in a misspelled day name. So let's see if you can find it. So what I did here is I pressed Control F and that brought up the find and replace box. So let's say I know now that I misspelled Tuesday by switching up the order of the switching up the order of the E and the U. So we type that in and we'll hit find next. And here it is. Here is the misspelled letter. So let's just quickly fix that. And there we are. All right, thank you for joining us for section 1 of Excel. Next week, we'll do some math with Excel. In the next lecture, in the next video, we'll do some math in Excel. Thank you for watching.